Hey everybody, a camera's in the way. We're just gonna go like that. How's it going? I'm Justin from Playing Board Games, and I'm playing a game called SOJOURN. This is a time-traveling game that's all about traveling through time, as we often do on a normal Sunday afternoon, which is when I'm currently recording this. So I win if I have 4 time sphere fragments and at least 1 temporal charge or a paradox time stream card. Then I may travel home to the year May 20th, the month May 20th, 2028. I lose when my health drops to 0, or I have no way to travel to a new destination, and thus I am stuck in history. So we're just going to kind of go through. Everything's set up and ready to go. Our first timeline that we can travel to is the first flight, December 17th, 1903 AD. Actually, it'd be not a bad time to travel to. Let's go there, especially with my cool watch. So on our turn, we can do one of 3 things. In any order, anytime you like, you may do one of the following. Play a time stream card from our hand. Open a new destination in the timeline, travel to a new destination. Playing a card is just pretty simple. We play a card and resolve it. The other thing we do is open a new destination, so that would cost 1 blue cube. Or when I travel to a destination, even if I've already traveled to the destination before, the act of traveling opens another portal. There's no temporal charge cost for this destination to open. Or Canada. Also, if you're in Canada, you got to adjust your clocks. It's daylight savings time today. I'm leaning over the camera like this because we're super professional here. I can even just, look at that. Hi. To complete the process, we draw a new card from the destination deck and place it in the timeline row directly above my current destination, which is currently in the Jurassic period over here, but we'll worry about that later. Placing the timeline row directly above my current destination. If there's already a card above, we place it to the left or right above mine. If I draw a time sphere fragment, it goes under the next location. The last thing we do is travel to a destination, which is travel to that is in the horizontal row above my current location. So right now, the Jurassic period, for all intents and purposes, is directly below the first flight card, which is where we're going to probably go first. When traveling, there's various things we're going to need to do. There's a drop cost. There's a charge cost, a travel cost, or a travel effect. Then there's a risk going to certain times because time can be pretty rough. So why don't we give it a shot, shall we? So there seems to be no action phase, so we'll just kind of go through this. So for my first thing I want to do is I am going to open a destination. I think we're going to open a destination by paying one of our blue charge cubes. So what that does is we can open a destination. Sorry, I'm just going through the rulebook to make sure I'm doing this correctly. The last thing I want to do is do this wrong. So we draw a new thing. Oh, goodness. It's September 11th, 2011. 2011. 2001! We can do this! There's too many 11s! I was actually reading about September 11th last night and it just showed up here. What a nightmare. We travel to a destination card, so if there's already a destination, place it to the left or right. Oh, so it actually will go here. So now we have 2 timelines that we can go explore. We can either go to September 11th or December 17th, 1903. So this has a high risk going into here, but it does allow us to draw 2 cards afterwards. Cool. So then what we're going to do for the second action, we're going to play Temporal Battery, which allows us to restore 1 temporal charge, which is very important because this one actually, if we fly here, if we move to this location, it's going to destroy all of our temporal batteries in our hands. So for our next action, we're going to travel here. So we have to drop all temporal batteries from our hands. We have none. It costs 4 cubes to go in there. That's a lot of frickin' cubes now that I realize it. Holy cow. Just making sure that's all good. So we travel, which is now going to open a new destination right here. It's a time fragment. We're on, it's actually the D-Day invasion. Okay. There's 0 risk, but we don't gain any cards. So now we can teleport even further. All right, but let's look at our hand. We're going to give ourselves some options. G-Con, thank you so much for 11 months at the Golden Table. We appreciate your continued support. Thank you for being you, and thank you for being awesome. We appreciate it. Has been a while, but I'm always happy to see you when you can show up. Okay. So we're going to play Fracture, which allows me to add a new destination to the timeline ahead for no cost. We have the assassination of Archduke Ferdinand. 3 to move there. So we're going to play Quantum Flux to reduce the risk of this to 65, and we're going to move up here on the timeline and keep this adventure going. So it's going to cost us 1 of these, but we don't discard any cards. We move here, which is going to open up a new portal, the JFK assassination. Time sucks is what I'm learning today. We're opening up all the bad ones. And now we have to roll to see. We need to roll 65 or higher because I reduced the difficulty by 10%. I said bad because we rolled a 55, which means we take 4 damage. But then we get to gain 3 time stream cards. Okay. So then I believe after we resolve a card, we get the times, we do gain 1 of these. So we are 25% the way to victory, but not doing too great otherwise. I'm on satellite internet right now, so the stream is kind of weird for me. We're actually down low. We're down to 400 kilobytes upload. The same thing that was happening last night. We were doing good for a long time, but right now we're kind of in the pit. We're going to start by restoring 1 health, and then also giving us, sorry. Whoa, it's a moving truck out there. We're going to give ourselves a temporal battery for another charge of that. We can heal another bit with our bandages. And then let's open up a destination above us. Oh, another time fragment. That's great. And the Bolshevik Revolution. Okay. So we can keep this going. We're just going to slide all this stuff down. Oh, sorry, JFK. Oh, good God. Our kilobytes up is 221. That's insane. So we're on the JFK assassination. We're going to reduce the risk to 40% here. We don't have any temporal batteries. It costs us 2 cubes. I think we're going to get lost in time. So we travel, open up the moon landing, and we roll for this. 65, we're fine. We draw 2 cards. There was also a thing under this, so we were 50% the way to difficulty there, 50% to victory, but, okay. So this is looking kind of rough. So I'm going to play this loop. Return to an open destination from any timeline with an earlier date. So, irrespective of spatial or physical placement. So we went back 3 years to June 28th. We do gain the time stream cards, so maybe we actually, where else can we go? So 1917, we actually really can only go here. It gives us a card at the very least, and then it opens up Gettysburg. I think we might be trapped in time very soon. I mean, in all fairness, Synthetic Divine, it looks like many tragedies have already occurred here, to be completely fair. Okay. All right, well, we're gonna loop. All these art look the same. We're gonna move to a previous destination. We're gonna go to 1903. I draw no cards, but I do open up a new thing. Opens a new portal. A time fragment up in the Crusades. So we'll reduce that to 65. We'll move up into the Crusades at the cost of 1 and 1 card. We travel here, which opens up a portal to the Challenger explosion. 222 kilobytes up. Man. Okay, so we take 2 damage. But we do get to draw 1 card. Unfortunately, we're actually lost in time. We are lost on the Crusades. That's where this ends. That's where our journey ends today. So we'll just shuffle up and go again. As you can see, the gameplay is pretty quick. All right. Hopefully we don't run into like all the scary ones first and we can like go to some normal, happier parts of history. Because it's never a good sign when the first place you want to go is to 9/11 and you're like, ooh, it's a bit rough. I wonder if your ISP is throttling your internet. That's a good question. They're not supposed to. And I did a speed test and everything was looking good. Last night was all bad. That's the thing, right? Like last night, the entire thing was bad. This one we started good, but then when I came over to board games, it started to freak out. Because the thing is, we have unlimited usage as part of our internet plan that we pay for here. So they shouldn't be throttling us. Keyword, shouldn't. Do they? Probably. And if I call them and ask, they're going to be like, oh, we see nothing wrong, and then conveniently everything's going to start working again. But settings. Oh, I'm in a recording right now. We're not going to do this right now. We're just going to quickly go again. Where's our first destination? None other than the French Revolution. Viva la Revolution! Yay. I have to drop all my temporal batteries to move into it. Only 25% risk, but we do gain 2 cards when we move in there. Maybe between recordings it'll be worth to check it out. All right, let's go. 1, 2, 3. Whoa! 4, 5. So we do have a temporal battery, so we're going to spend 1 temporal charge to open up a timeline, open up a destination. So from the French Revolution, we can also go to Jamestown. 4 resources to go in there. That's kind of nutter butters. Let's just straighten that out. Oh, Julie's coughing. Poor Julie, always sick. Okay. And then we're going to spend this temporal battery to gain a charge back. Easy. We'll travel here. So that'll cost us 3 of our cubes. We travel here, which opens up another portal to the destruction of the Library of Alexandria. Good times. Good times, I suppose. There we go. 76, we're fine. No damage here, but we do draw 2 cards, which is nice. Okay. So obviously it looks like higher the risk, the bigger likelihood we have of... So the more cards you have to discard, the more it costs. The lower the risk, the more time charges we need to spend. I'm sorry I look like I'm coming in from the past, like seriously. So we're going to fracture, we're going to add a new timeline ahead. It's a time fragment at Independence Day. So we're just going to put this here to note that that's there. There's a 25% risk chance at Independence Day. That's funny. So let's increase the charge, bring one of these back. And then we're going to do a paradox, and we're going to travel up here. Travel to destination for no time stream drop or temporal charge cost. Which moves here. We'll travel here and open up a new portal. The stock market crash. Tough time. Let's do the risk. So we have to roll 25% or higher. We rolled 32, we're fine. We'll draw a card, but also gain this. All right. Okay. We're going to come to the destruction of the lighthouse, which we have to discard 2 cards. We're going to discard both of these. Costs us 2 of our cubes to travel through time. And then, hey, the JFK assassination's back. Good. We have to roll 50 or higher. We actually rolled 50. Wow, all right, we're good. And we draw a card. So we're going to do a paradox and travel to the JFK assassination. We don't have to do the drop or the cost, but we do open up a timeline to Gettysburg. We still have to do the risk. We have a 25% chance of getting shot here. Luckily, we're fine. And we draw a card. We're going to get stuck in time again, aren't we? All time stream cards to get into the Gettysburg. So we're just going to do a paradox and just hippity hop in there for free, giving us a new destination. The D.B. Cooper hijacking. Cute. Okay, 50% risk. Yeah, so we'll take 2 damage. Thank God. We can bleed. We draw a card, though. So, we're going to do a loop. We're going to go loop some tragedy back at Jamestown. And that opens up into September 11th. This is a horrible time to be caught in time traveling. I'm just letting you guys know. Maybe it's one of those things that life is just horrible. We'll restore health. Luckily, we can get into this timeline at no cost or anything. We just are probably going to be taking some damage. Unless we roll really well, which we didn't. So we take 3 damage. We do draw 2 cards, though. Titanic disaster. 4 damage! Are you kidding me? So we can loop our way to the Titanic. And that is without any drop cost or risk. So that's good. And it's going to open up here their Chernobyl disaster. Oh, no. Oh, no, no, no. We can add a new timeline, though. Oh, the Hiroshima atomic attack. Oh, no, no, no. We're going to go to Chernobyl. We'll reduce the risk by 10, so it's only 65. Costs us one of these cubes. We open up a new thing to the Ides of March. 75% risk, only 65. We die. We die in the Chernobyl disaster. They bury us in a coffin of concrete. Anyway, that's Sojourn. A nice little solo game with a cooperative mode where you travel through time. Let's see some of the other places that we did not visit, because it seems to have a good variety of places. Black Plague, Pompeii, time fragment. Siege of Alesia, Bolshevik Revolution, Germany invades Poland. The Alamo, time fragment. The completion of the Great Pyramid. Yeah, poor Nathan died to radiation. He'll be fine, though. The moon landing, Columbus discovers America, Hurricane Katrina, the first flight we saw that. Eruption of Mount St. Helena, the lost colony of Croatoan. The Gutenberg printing press, the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, sack of Rome, the Great Chicago Fire, Vietnam War, American Revolution, the bombing of Pearl Harbor. Why can't it just be like Tuesday, like March 7th, 1891, right? Why can't it just be a normal thing? The Crusades, Battle of Waterloo, the tearing down of the Berlin Wall, D-Day invasion, the Hindenburg disaster, Challenger explosion. And those are all some of the options of time that we can... Yeah, they just need a simple picnic one. But I guess what we're learning today is a lot of bad things happened in the past. Who would have thought? Anyways, thanks for watching. Have a good one. And as always, GG's.